I can say this with regards to going through a breakup and having the wounds be very fresh. I know you say that you want, I know that you said that you want to just rot away in your room, and it's very emotional. It's a very emotional time, and you don't really feel like doing anything. One of the best ways to get over a breakup is to try and keep your mind busy, so you're not thinking constantly about this person and constantly about trying to fix it. I will say that this is something that I went through a very long time ago at this point, where it's like every single night that I close my eyes, I see this person's face, and I try to figure out how I'm going to fix things a bit better so that the breakup or the disaster that was my hero arc didn't happen. And even to this day, at this point, it doesn't happen as much as it did in the past, but there'll be days where I'll wake up and it's like, wow, this is still so fresh for me, and it's very painful. But I can say that without a doubt, the thing that has helped me be released, or like allow me to become at peace with how things are going as much as I possibly can, is being productive. It might feel like it's something that you can't do because you're feeling emotional, but I promise you that by becoming productive, you'll become a lot less emotional. It's one of the things that I've been doing for the last 4 or 5 years at this point with regards to labbing in the game, or doing the content creation, doing the coaching, getting the opportunity to become social with coaching as well too. The amount of people that I've gotten to talk to and allow me to get my mind off of the tremendous pain that is my life, that one day I will share with the channel. I feel like if we ever hit 50K on the channel, it'll be something that I do want to share. But I don't really want to share it with the Smash scene, because I don't think that anybody in the Smash scene could really actually understand. It is some grown man pain to the utmost degree. I feel like if there's anybody that could understand, possibly, it'd be someone like maybe Denny. Maybe. So I know he's been through some stuff in his life, and he's someone who's, I think, 10 or 11 years older than me. It is some shit. It really is some shit. But what I can say for you, bro, is that becoming productive or becoming busy is one of the best things that you can do. And as far as your hero arc or villain arc regarding this, productive is the hero arc, where busy could potentially also mean vices, which would be a villain arc, in my opinion. A lot of people, when they go through a breakup or anything that is traumatic, they will jump into the deep end of whether it's drugs or drinking or porn, or just becoming incredibly not lazy, but trapped in their thoughts and depressed. These things will happen to you because you've chosen to say, I'm going to give in to my emotions, or I'm going to give in to how I feel because I don't know what to do. But I'll say, never in the history of ever has the answer to anything been drink or smoke or whatever it might be that is your vice to help you cope with how you're feeling. Because once you come down from the high, or the whatever the feeling of escapism is for you, once you come back down to reality, it's like this thing that I've been worrying about, this thing that I've been traumatized by, it's still there. It's still right on the surface. So how do I grow into a person that doesn't have to worry about this thing, or someone who does, that can handle this? How do I grow into someone that can handle this thing that I've gone through? And that is through being productive. I know it feels like every single time I make a video, or every single time anything comes up, I say that the answer is working on yourself or being productive. But it's the truth. It's the most powerful medicine you'll ever have in your entire life with regards to getting over anything in life. Becoming a person that can handle it. Becoming the person that says, that was really terrible, but I'm in a place in my life where this situation could never happen again, because I've grown into the man or grown into the woman that could handle this, or will make better decisions, or has better values, or has been looking out for themselves in a way where it's like, I'm not gonna make this bad decision ever again. I'm not going to allow myself to be swindled or manipulated in a way where I'm now in a position that I did not sign up to be into, or I did not sign up to be in. As far as how long does that take? How long does it take to get over something that has been traumatic that has happened to you? It can take forever, bro. It becomes a part of your character, hero arc, once again. becomes part of your character where it's like, I now live to not let this ever happen again. When people ask me this all the time, and I talk to people in the Discord about this. How am I so disciplined? How do I have such strong willpower? How do I stay so laser focused on whatever I'm doing all the time, every day, for years? Well, it's because I have my origin story that reminds me every single day that if you don't follow through with your productivity or your passion or your goals or whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish in life, you will eventually find yourself back in that place. And so every single day I wake up focused. Go to the gym to be in shape so you can get the woman or wife or potential mother that you actually want. Work on your business or work on your finances or whatever it might be. If you're an entrepreneur, it doesn't matter. Work on that so you can have the options and the freedom in the life that you want. And remember that if you don't, that's what's waiting for you. Being a loser, being sad, being depressed, being out of shape, being somebody that nobody wants. Nobody wants to be around. Even you don't want to be around. So those are your options. And a lot of people don't like that shit. They don't like that your options are work really fucking hard or be a loser. And in the world of being a man, those are truthfully your choices. And guess what? As you get older, it intensifies. Because you think you might be a loser at 21. Because you got nothing going on for yourself. What's it going to be like when you're 31? Or when you're 41? Or when you're 51? And you didn't do anything because you decided to be on drugs or drinking or out of shape or not work on yourself, not try and get back into a relationship and not be jaded. And you decided to basically melt away into fucking nothing because that's the only thing that felt good to do. Like I said, time is not on your side. I promise. It's not on your side. But the good news is that at least right now, you have time. It's not on your side, but you can still use it. And that's huge. And that's something that I do every single day. That's why I'm on stream every single day. That's why I'm working out every single day. That's why I'm working on videos every single day. That's why I'm having meetings every single day. That's why I'm trying to change the Discord and change the channel and elevate myself and elevate my life as much as I possibly can. And that's where it all comes from. And sometimes you do need to have that horrible experience happen to you so that you can become that superhero. So that you can become someone who says, you know what? Now that I've experienced this, now that I've been to the depths of hell and back, I want to try and never have that situation ever happen again. Because if you haven't taken away anything from this at all, it's that in 5 years from now, or 10 years from now, or 15 years from now, if you have not worked on yourself at all, and you find yourself in a very similar situation, a very similar relationship, why wouldn't it happen again? And I'll even say this as well too. Not that it will guaranteed happen, but if you've not worked on yourself, this is where self-sabotage comes into place. This is where a lot of people will get into relationships way down the road and have trust issues. The reason why a lot of people have trust issues is not because the person that they're with is not trustworthy. It's not that. It's the fact that they have not grown enough as a person to believe that this person values them enough to actually be loyal or faithful. So if you're still that low class person or low value person, and you get into another relationship 5 or 7 years from now, you might be thinking to yourself, all you're going to think to yourself is, every single time this person doesn't answer their phone, they're with another guy. Or every single time that they go out and they don't tell me where they are, or they didn't tell me where they're going or whatever, they're cheating, they're setting something up, I'm about to lose this person, everything I've worked for is now about to be destroyed. And the only reason why you would think that is because you've not leveled yourself up to say, if they did this, yes, it will hurt, but it's not going to ruin my life because I have value. I've done something for myself. But if you're still in the same position and you had the situation happen, self-sabotage will happen, or the self-sabotage will arise, and you'll believe that I'm not worthy of keeping this person. They can see through the fact that I'm not a high-value person. I'm not someone worth respecting. As a guy, that's the most important thing in the entire world for yourself. Whether or not you believe it right now, it is that you want to be respected. Being loved is one thing, but being respected, it trumps love. It really does. I know you don't have kids, but if you had kids and they don't respect you, it's devastating. If your wife doesn't respect you, it's devastating. You feel worthless. You feel like you just exist, and you don't want to have that happen. So this is one of those things where it's like you want to get to a point in your life where you recognize this shit. This is just like I'm saying, like for Charlie at this point, I'm saying that he should be trying to level himself up and be productive with his time, even though the emotions hurt. But like I said, I'm speaking so passionately with such conviction right now because I've done this. I'm not saying, yo, do this thing, but I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about because, like, yo, good luck. I don't know what this, you should just see what happens. Like, no, I've done this, bro. The reason why I am who I am is exactly because I've done these things. 100 billion%. So, if girls are acting fucking crazy, as they typically do, and especially in your 20s, they will waste your 20s just like they waste theirs. The difference is that they get to waste their 20s with multiple guys, whereas you will waste your 20s with one or two girls. It's very unfortunate. So, instead of wasting your 20s, very similarly to how I did actually, because I was in multiple relationships throughout my 20s, maybe like 3 or 4, or no, 2 or 3. And it was a huge waste of time. Unfortunately, because I didn't really build myself up. I didn't really get punched in the mouth, as I say, until I was about 28. You guys are feeling that shit right now, and you're having this conversation with me right now, and you're listening and all this stuff in the present, and you're like 21, 22, 23, then you are miles ahead of the game. You might be asking yourself right now too, well, I'm going through it. I'm 21 years old. What am I supposed to do? What counts? What qualifies as building myself up? I hear you say that all the time. What is building yourself up? Well, like I've said in the past too, if you need some sort of tangible proof of building yourself up, build up your wealth. That could be the first thing. Build up your friend circle or your network. The next thing. Build up your social skills or even your social media. That could be another thing as well too. Get out and get stories or get experiences and practice life. No one practices life. People just jump into shit expecting to be an expert. Now I'll say this too. This is also the truest of true things, and I'm sure you've seen this. Just because you have kids does not mean that you are a fit parent. Many parents are not fit parents. It's because they just jumped into it. They were not even fit human beings. They just literally fucked. And now they have kids, and now they think they just know shit. It's like, meanwhile, your kids are terrible and you shouldn't be parents. You're not ready to be parents because you did not practice life. You did not level yourself up in any way. You're not financially stable enough. You just did it. Like, there should be way more prerequisites in life to just go ahead and start a family. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry at all, actually. And that shit's crazy. You should definitely be using your 20s to build up into your 30s. And I'll even say this, bro. If you're someone who's in the chat right now, and let's say you've had one girlfriend in your teens, and you're like, you know what, I want to try and give it another shot in my 20s. It's like, yeah, that's totally fine. That's totally fine to get into a relationship and potentially get married, do all this stuff in your 20s. But build yourself up first. That's it. Just build yourself up first. That's all I ask. Get your finances together. Get your value system together. Get your social skills together. Get your network together, whatever it might be. Get that stuff in order first. If it takes you 1 year to do it, that's great. If it takes you 5 years to do it, that's also great. But don't start into a relationship with no experience, no money, and no social skills of any kind. Because you're going to get taken advantage of. You're going to get drained of your financials, potentially. And at the end of it all, if you end up breaking up, that whole time was a waste. And the experience that you got, not the experience that you wanted, because it was an explosion of trauma versus a character building experience.